I am an artist and musician and producer. I have a project called Lala Lala. I also release music under my own name, Lillie West, and I make paintings and poetry and I do photography, and I really care about community and sustainability, and I really value when people operate or try to operate outside of ego. I am finishing up a new Lala album that I'm really excited about. I think just in a way that I hadn't before, I really didn't care about what people thought about it, and me and Melina Duterte, the producer, just really followed our feelings on it, and it ended up, it's so odd. It's like Dido meets One Tricks Point Never, and I'm really excited about it. And then I'm finishing a piano album that I started recording last year, and then my boyfriend and I are making an instrumental album that I'm really excited about too, and I'm hoping to finish all 3 of them this year. Well, it starts with writing, which is so, you know, I mean, that could be like me sitting at a piano for 5 hours and hating myself, or it could be something happening really fast. But in this, I mean, with this record, you know, sometimes I've recorded the album basically live, and this record was really different, where I brought Melina these like half recordings that I had made, and we basically shaped the songs together. But you know, that's just us sitting in a room all day, like pressing buttons and like just playing with instruments. And I mean, I eat a lot of what they call girl dinner on the internet, where it'll be like 5 grapes and like a pile of cottage cheese and rice cakes and baby tomatoes. And I'll just like eat that all day, and then it's night and I go to bed. Well, actually, the first month that I was there, I did a residency at this place called Lunga in Seyðisfjörður, which is a tiny town on the east coast of Iceland, and they've had this art residency for a really long time. They started this new one called Land, which is very much about living on the land in Seyðisfjörður, and it was really interesting because I've always been so resistant to winter, especially living in Chicago. It's just like, oh my god, it's so cold. I get inside as fast as possible. And this was sort of the opposite experience. Like, we did these like all-day hikes to we went to this remote research center, and we got snowed in for a couple days, and we had all the food we needed on our backs, and we caught fish and made fish cakes, and we slept outside one night in January in Iceland, which was insanely cold. I think that sort of was a step in me accepting the environment, you know, because I accepted winter. I was like, oh, I actually can't survive in this environment. You know, people, when they hear that instrumental album that I made mostly in Iceland, are like, of course, it's so Iceland. It's such a classic thing to do, to go to Iceland and make ambient experimental electronic music with like bells and samples of me like walking on ice. And an earthship is a type of sustainable housing that it's totally off-grid. It does use some traditional building materials, but it also uses a lot of trash. They're all partially buried, and the back wall is made of old tires filled with compacted dirt, which then holds onto thermal energy, and the idea is that they're self-heating and self-cooling. So it'll gather thermal energy all day and then seep out when the sun goes down. And you know, non-load-bearing walls are also made from bottles and cans, and they use a grey water system, so like the water from the sink will then pass through a planter, which the idea is that it's growing food, and then that'll go into the toilet, and that'll go into a different planter that's not growing food. And they're very beautiful. They look like spaceships. And they started in Taos, New Mexico. This guy, Michael Reynolds, invented them. I mean, you know, they draw a lot of inspiration ideas from like native people and native structures, and they're kind of like a hodgepodge of all these different ideas. What drew me to the Earthships is I went to the school to learn how to build Earthships. They have a school in Taos, and I also, I love physical labor. That's like my preferred type of work. And you have classes in the day and you are building after lunch, and I just fell in love with the place and the concept, and it made a lot of sense to me, this like living in collaboration with the earth as opposed to against it. And you do have to be really involved with the house. You're sort of like collaborating with the house, and that actually takes up a lot of time. You're like a caretaker of this house. I mean, I lived in an older one. Now they're a lot more efficient, and the heating and the cooling is a lot more sorted out, but it was challenging. It was challenging, but it was very cool. It was a dream of mine that I fulfilled. It just sort of fell into place. On the questions that you sent me before, it's like, why do you think artists should think about sustainability? And I thought it was an interesting question, because I'm not sure that I think that they should any more or less than other people. Like I think that people should be thinking about sustainability. And I don't know, that's the kind of thing that is surprising to me when it's not important to people, because it's like, don't you care about anyone besides yourself? I don't know, it's like we're doing a certain amount of damage, and yes, we will be gone, but there will be other people, and why don't you care about that? And obviously the earth, our society, and we're sort of trained to be like humans forward. Humans are the most important thing, and obviously I feel that a little bit, but as a human, but it has never been hard for me to like make the connection between animals and plants and us as this ecosystem, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be a responsible member of the earth. I mean, sustainable energy, like renewable energy. I think there is a way, sometimes I'm like, I want to design my own earthship. Like the way that water works in an earthship is so smart. It makes no sense that we use water one time, and also water is extremely hard to clean once it's dirty. So that would be an ideal situation. That's hard. I'd have to think about it. But yeah, basically just renewable energy, which is like extremely possible. Everything is the life source. I don't know, it's just perfect. People have asked me this question before because I write about water a lot and I like photograph it, and I don't know, it's the life force. It's a very powerful, omnipresent thing that we need. Yeah. It's really cool and inspiring to collaborate with people who are more hardcore than you. Like, it's very exhausting to be the person who cares the most, as I'm sure you know, and for someone else to sort of take the reign on something that's like difficult is thrilling. It's very, you get worn down in this world. Trusting people, places, things, entities has always been instinctual for me, and I'd like to think that at this point in my life, after I've worked with a lot of different people and experienced a lot of different things, that I have that skill, that I know. Because it's funny, I think some people see me as extremely open and other people see me as extremely guarded, but it's just like a snap judgment that I make quite quickly whether or not to trust someone or something. I think when you know in all ways. I think once you get to a certain point in your life, I'm ancient now, I'm 200 years old. when you know, you know.
Hmm.